So good afternoon. So mine is only a recap and know where we are and where we are heading to. The real work now is starting next week, where we'll be starting with the camera itself, how it's structured and everything. But now there are some things that I sent on your side, the two videos and the notes. I believe right now most of us have gone through it, because I won't be talking about it anymore. I'm just doing what we call recap. From there, we proceed. So, you came across different types of photography or different categories of photography, and photography mainly is categorized into three. We have the art side, we have the journalism side, and we have the documentary part of it. And mostly what we normally refer to as photography is usually the art side of it. Uh, but most people forget about the journalism side of it. So under art photography, this is where you'll find modeling, street photography, fashion. Is it fashion? There is landscape or nature photography, where you'd be taking photos of the landscape together with nature, flowers. Um, Sorry, I forgot to mention about commercial photography. Under journalism, we have documentaries and such, and then we have the art, and then we have the commercial photography, where you do photographs for advertisement. So I hope you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, unmute your audio and talk so that I know we are together. Griffin and Mark, can you hear me? Okay, Griffin has responded. Mark? Mark, I'm waiting for your response. So it seems Mark has a problem. We continue. I want to share the notes that you guys went through. So these are the notes that I shared with you. on your ZDS platform, the different types of photography. Macro photography, the first one, where we capture very small objects like insects, flowers, very tiny flowers. We use macro lenses, so that is macro photography. Then we have studio photography, mostly where we use the studio setup, artificial lighting, um, to come up with photographs. Point and flash is mostly used. So studio photography, in short, it means indoor photography. Then we have the outdoor photography, which comprises of landscape photography, nature photography, night photography, motion photography. So landscape photography um, is a type of photography where your main work is to capture the natural environment, how it looks, the background, the sun. You want to capture that um, that kind of light being emitted by the sunset or the moon, or maybe a range of mountains, a range of hills. That is landscape photography, or how a particular estate has been designed, or how Nairobi looks like atop maybe KICC. And nature photography, now you want to take natural phenomena, natural stuff, volcanic eruption, um, things like tsunami. You can capture them. Different types of trees, different types of mountains, rivers, and then we have the night photography, uh, where you need to use long exposures. We call them long exposures, to be able to capture images in a nice way at night. And of course, at night you need to have powerful lights that can light the objects for you to enable for you to have a good image. And then we have motion photography. Motion is almost the same as video, but now you capturing objects that are moving at a high speed. So for you, in order to freeze that motion, you need to capture the image using a very high shutter speed. We'll be talking about shutter speed. Next will be sometimes you may have motion photography inside sports photography. Casing example, when you are shooting a sports event, a safari rally, remember you involve a lot of motion, or a cyclist event, you involve a lot of motion, and you need to capture uh, very high moving objects like cars, the speed at which they move. You need to utilize your shutter speed in a good way for you to capture the motion. Otherwise, you'll just capture um, some trails of light. So that is sports photography for you. Then we have other types of photography under press photography, freelance, wildlife, food photography, wedding photography, um, film also. You can do photography for film, buildings, structure, fashion, glamour, underwater photography. That's a new thing that has just emerged recently due to the usage of GoPros and sophisticated photography um, cameras that can be used by any other person, and you can find them easily in the market. So those are the different types of photography. So I have some questions for you. Explain the difference between press photography and freelance photography. Give reason why, as a potential photographer, you'll opt on certain category, not others. So this assignment, I'll upload it on your site. You will do the assignment and then upload the feedback of the assignment. What you will have gathered, you upload it back. So, any question? Swali?
Excuse me.
Who's talking? Yes, Mark.
You said you upload the assignment. Tutai-upload wapi?
On the ZDS platform, I'll open a platform
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be able to see where you're supposed to upload. Sawa.
All right.
The same under topic 3 where you got the link to this site of to the big blue button.
Mm-hmm.
I'll upload the assignment, what you're supposed to do, and then you will, after doing it, you're going to upload it back.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. So I believe everybody went through the videos and the notes. So next week, I'll upload the camera, go through the camera, Google. Now the problem with you guys, you do not want to ask questions, and such kind of platform. I don't know what you have gathered. I don't know what you have understood if you're not asking any question, because I'm not able to see you one on one, and I'm not with you one on one. So you need to ask a lot of questions so that we may be at par with each other. I may not be able to pinpoint where you have a problem. And when I say go and read something, go and read it. It's very unfortunate when I come back to class and people are not ready to respond to what I'm asking. That leaves me that leaves me at a point where I'm wondering if you guys are moving in the right direction. So um, this was just topic 1, 2, 3 was just intros here and there. Now the real deal will start next week when we're talking about the camera. We'll talk about the DSLR camera, how it looks like, the internal structure, and then the functionality of every button, and then how to set it. So if you happen to have a camera at home, next week have it with you so that when I tackle something, you can be able um, to see what I'm talking about. And I hope that we're going to join early, 11 at 11 sharp. Today I had a meeting from 10, so I wasn't able to. I joined immediately to update you on what you're supposed to do. So next week I hope there will be no meeting on Wednesday. So we are going to carry our class normally. Swali, can see Vincent Ludro ameingia. And To make it clear, let me not be calling you guys to join the class. It is now 3 weeks down the line. I expect you to have known how to join, how to maneuver around your ZDS portal, because I'm also handling other students. So when I keep on waiting for you guys, it becomes a challenge on my side, and I have other things also to do, other students to handle. So let us balance everything. If it's time for class, let us join. The first few minutes of joining will be through chat, and then maybe 30 minutes or 15 minutes down the line, we change to the big blue button for a live session. Swali, sasa? I'm waiting for questions now because you've gone through the notes and gone through the video.
Okay, Mr. Eliud.
Yes.
Mr. Eliud.
Yes, I can hear you, Ludo.
Yeah, I had a question, and my question is pertaining the categories of photography, where I came across nature photography, and now I wanted to know why is the nature photography limited to a shutter speed of 1:60?
Shutter speed of?
Shutter speed of 1.
Sorry. 1, 2.
A shutter speed of 1 to 50.
Shutter speed is measured with seconds, so it's 1/50.
Yeah,
You mean? Huh?
yeah.
It is not limited. It all depends with what time you are capturing, whatever you are capturing. It also depends on the kind of object that you want to capture. But
Yes.
50 is recommended because most of these natural stuff, they are not moving, they are not in motion. So you are allowed to use a lower shutter speed for maximum exposure when it comes to allowing light. So 1/50 is recommendable, but it's not limited to that. Assuming you are taking photos during sunset,
Yes.
and the kind of light that um, is normally the kind of light that the sun emits at that particular hour, it's normally somehow kind of bright orange.
Yes.
So by you using maybe a shutter speed of 1/50, that means that a lot of light will be penetrating through your camera, and you won't be able to capture that artistic sunset. You know the way it spreads the light to different directions. So you just capture an orange light. But for you to limit the amount of light penetrating your camera, you need to use a higher shutter speed, maybe 1/500 or 1/1000, so that you can capture that particular light and the exact direction that particular light will be spreading. So it all depends with the time, with the kind of object you have, or the kind of subject you're taking. Sasa lugha, but sio sheria. Swali lingine?
Mark,
Rudru.
ya kwani ameingia mitini?
Ni kama umevaa mask kama ni mchezo. Alafu unapotea.
Network eti ndio problem. Kwani atafunga tu.
Masi, kwani ticha ameenda?
Hey guys, nani mwenye ameelewa macro photography? Anielezee kidogo briefly tu. Hey, nani ameelewa macro photography?
I lost connection, but now I'm back. So next week come prepared so that we may face each other mundu kumundu. So be prepared, come with the information at hand. I'll be asking a lot of questions. And I also expect a lot of questions from you. So let us wind this class until next week. Any question nikimalizia? So kama hakuna swali, let me end the meeting. We meet next week.
Okay, Mr. Elliot.
All right. You have a good day.
You too.